Durdle Magic. Hello and welcome back to Durdle Magic. Today we're playing a new commander, well, new to Magic Online, Tayam, Luminous Enigma. We'll cover that in a second, but let's check our opening hand. We won the die roll. We have 2 lands and not much follow-up, so I'm thinking we take the free mulligan here. Alright, got a new hand. Let's see, 3 sources, tutor, removal, sack, outlet, and recursion. I think this is good enough to keep. We'll need something with counters soon though, but we'll get there. So our commander is Tayam, Luminous Enigma, 1 Obzon, so 1 white, black, green, 3/3, legendary Nightmare Beast. Each other creature you control enters the battlefield with a vigilance counter on it. 3, remove 3 counters from among creatures you control, put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard, then return a permanent card with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Lots of 3s. Alright, let's go ahead and play our Godless Shrine tapped and pass it off. For our turn, we drew Plague Boiler, one of my personal favorite cards of all time, and a board wipe that I can keep recurring. It does hit everything besides lands though, so we will have to be careful, say if we get Guardian Project down or something. Our next opponent is Ikra-Vial, the Usurper, and I don't know if I said that right. 3 black, green for a 3/7 rather, with menace. Creatures you control deal combat advantage to the player. You gain life equal to their toughness. I do like this particular partner. I was working on a Dorn deck with it. Temple of Mouse into play. For the partner pair, they will scry 1. The partner, Vial Smasher the Fierce, 1 black red for a 2/3 Goblin Berserker. Whenever you cast your first spell each turn, choose an opponent at random. It deals damage equal to that spell's converted mana cost to that player. Notably, the damage comes from Vial Smasher, so you can give it lifelink and things like that. Our next opponent is a new one, Kalamax, the Thunderbutt, the Stormsire. 1 Tamir, which is 1 green, blue, red for 4/4. Whenever you cast your first instant spell each turn, if this is tapped, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. Whenever you copy an instant spell, it gets a 1/1 counter. So, all around decent. This is probably the strongest of the pre-con commanders. So, not looking too much forward to any long storm chains. They drop a Triome, the Tamir one, the only one I didn't get in my box. Sad face, need that for Amon-Amonath. Our next opponent is Daretti Scrap Savant. 3 red for a legendary Planeswalker, 3. +2, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. -2, sacrifice an artifact. If you do, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Really good. -10, you get an emblem with. Whenever an artifact is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, return that card to the battlefield at the beginning of the next end step. It can be your commander. Mountain into play for them. Our turn, we draw Shalai, so at least this will be an interesting game, to say the least. Let's see. Lignifying Chance a creature. No Song of the Dryads in here. I think I might change that. Planeswalkers, it does hit if I remember correctly. Let's go ahead and play the Forest. Nothing to play yet, so we'll pass it on over to our opponents. Tag it down for the partner pair. Farseek going out. So they will get anything that isn't a forest, technically. Alright, they go get a Cinder... Was it Glade? Yeah, Cinder Glade. Alright, as for our deck, we do have a number of infinite combos in here. We have Micaiah's Triskelion. We also have Triskelion, Pure, Imaginative Rascal, and Vigor. Although that one's slower. What you do is you keep pinging Triskelion. It'll get an extra counter, giving you +1 in net toughness and power. And then the next turn, because Vigor puts those counters on and Pure does another one, then you nuke everybody, so it is slower. Frontier Biovok into play for the Tamir Dinosaur. Another combo we have is Vishkal, Sun Titan, Angelic Renewal. That could also be Ashnode's Altar or Phyrexian Altar. I don't have Altar of the Brood in here. That might be something you can consider. So this is kind of like a combo control type of deck, but lighter on the control than I guess I should have. I'm just not a control player. I don't pretend to be anything like that at all. Mana Crypt coming down for Daretti after a Mountain. Daretti Scrap Savant coming down. Let's see what they do. I imagine they're just going to discard and draw the 2. Seems like pretty good strategy there. There they go. Alright, Combustible Gearhulk and a Mountain. I love Combustible Gearhulk. When I had my Felden deck, this thing is so good. What's so good is still so good. You give the opponents a choice, but the choice isn't that great. Alright, rolls over to our turn. We get Atheros God of Passage. That's good for getting our guys back, lay down some more counters and stuff. Let's do a Blind Woodland. Now, I increased the land count after some testing just by 1 though and add some search, so we're going to have to see how that goes because we're going to need a couple more lands up here coming. I'm thinking we could do Plague Boiler. That way Daretti doesn't necessarily get to their Signet and we can just kind of threaten it and have people kind of sit on their hands. So I think we'll do that. We don't have anything to lose right now besides Plague Boiler. So we can just play around that, and Athreos is indestructible, so it won't matter. We have an opt from Kalamax, scry 1, draw a card. Their commander's not out, but I imagine I'd like to just see how many instants they have in the deck. Just, you know, as a reference point. Mountain down for the partner pair. Oracle of Moldiah. You know what that does. Additional lands and play lands from the top of your library. Hinterland Harbor into play for Kalamax. We have a Cultivate. What is it? Sprouting Storm? Is that what the instant one is? And it has Storm on it. That might be a good addition to the deck if you're interested. Alright, we have a Forest into play. We have a Island to hand. Alright. Mana Crypt trigger for Daretti. Let's see if they win or lose things. Bonk on the head, they lose the flip. Dockside Extortionist. So they get 1 treasure? Yep, just 1 treasure. That's right, they get a blocker. Alright, they're trading for the Combustible Gear Hulk for that treasure. Sad faces. They're targeting the partner pair. I'm glad our Plague Boiler isn't being too noticed over here. They get to draw all 3 cards. Joan Panorama into play for Daretti. It gets cracked. I imagine a mountain. Basic, but we'll see. Daretti going straight to the end step. After all that, they will have to discard 1 card. Let's see where Daretti sits. He is at 3. Alright. Plague Boiler triggers on our turn. We'll just let it get a plague counter. We draw Corpse Jack Menace. Would be great if we had 4 mana to do something with. Sad face. Pass it off to our opponents. We could tutor out for like a Secure Tribe Elder. Kind of a waste though, but that might be something we have to do at instant speed. Apparently my deck now hates giving me lands instead of doing nothing but alright. Forest at the top for the partner pair. They draw the Phyrexian Arena. Next card is a Terminate. Oh, what's that? Wasteland. Destroy target non-basic land. Oh, that'd be really bad for us. Snow-covered swamp into play. Alright, partner pair just passing their whole turn by. Not casting anything, so that makes me a little bit nervous. Stormsire down for the Stormsire player. I don't know if they have like a 1-drop instant spell or what have you. But, whatever. It would have to be tapped. And they would copy it and for it to get the counter. So maybe they just want a blocker for right now. There's that crypt trigger. Looks like they win the flip this time. Gamble, the only red tutor I'm aware of, at 1 anyway. They search the library for any card put in their hand, then discard at random. Really good in Feldon, really good in Daretti, because generally you don't care too much what you discard. Alright, let's see. They discard Chandra Flamecaller. Also a card I like in the deck, because it lets you wheel. +1, so not bad. I did have Tybalt Fiend Blooded in my original version until they printed her. Tybalt wasn't bad either. The discard random was kind of unfortunate, but it worked out. Combustible Gear Hulk into the Kalamax player. Our Plague Boiler just not enough of a threat. No one's really playing into it though either, so I'm not sure where it stands amongst the players. Damage is good. Kalamax player chooses not to block. Sculpting Steel. There's the battlefield as a copy of any artifact. So Combustible Gear Hulk, I imagine. Unless it's Plague Boiler. Be funny. Ooh, we have a response out of Kalamax. Pongify. They're getting rid of the Combustible Gear Hulk. Nice one. Combustible Gear Hulk grows to be a primate. Alright, they get a Mana Crypt copy of it. That'll ramp them pretty good. Maybe they'll get domed for 6 next turn. I don't know. Floating 2, activating Daretti to get back the Combustible Gear Hulk. Let's see where they send the trigger this time. Gear Hulk trigger going into the partner pair. They decide to let him have the cards. Anvil of Bogardon. Dan? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Players have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of each player's draw set, the player draws an additional card and then discards a card. I'm still probably going to blow it up though. Plague Boiler. Our turn. It gets another plague counter. 1 more and everything goes to nuking. Alright, we get an Anvil trigger. First we draw a Forest. Then we'll get to draw a 2nd card and then have to discard 1. Ooh, a Plains. Well, we want to keep the lands for sure. Probably you want to keep the Tutor and the Recursion. So I'm thinking right now, since we don't really have anything on board, we go and dump Shalai in there. Actually, let's dump Corpse Jack Menace. We can get it back with Eternal Witness if we need to. I want Shalai for the protection. Alright, our turn. Let's go ahead and play a Plains. Let's go ahead and play Athreos. And then we'll pass over like that. One of the things I've been really looking forward to over the years as an Obzon enchantment commander, although looking at the list people have come up with like on EDH Rec, I'm not very intrigued by them. That's just not my jam. But I still might try it with Tayam. Might be an interesting build. Otherwise, he could also be an artifact commander with things like Plague Boiler and stuff. And there's like Pernicious Deed and stuff like that. So it's all going to be very interesting, this general, I think. Virtus the Veiled coming down for the partner pair. I've been cut down short and quick by one of those before. Trailblazer's Boots. Don't underestimate non-basic land walk. Rolls over to Kalamax, another Anvil trigger. Alright, Kalamax just straight quits the game. That's too bad. I was really looking forward to that. That's one of the new commanders. Oh well. Hopefully they had something important to do and they're okay. Mana Crypt trigger for Daretti. Let's see if they get domed. They do in fact get domed by their own Mana Crypt. Anvil triggers. That card's pretty good. I might want to put it in some of my decks. I'll have to remember it. Alright, they will discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. Let's see what they discard. Let's see. Evolving Wilds and Experimental Frenzy. Alright. Look at the top card of your library at any time. Play lands and cast spells from the top. Can't play anything from your hand. 3 red, destroy it. I've never had that in my Feldon deck or my Daretti deck back in the day. I did have Heretic's Punishment, which I thought was some nice secret tech for Feldon. Combustible Gear Hulk into the partner pair. Let's see if they want to block it at all for any reason. They do have Terminate in hand. They could just kill it. No blocks, damage is good. Going to the end of combat. Let's see if Daretti does anything in the second main. Scrap Mastery. Let's see. There goes Plague Boiler. So we'll have to get that back with our general. Then we'll pull all the artifacts out of our graveyard. So it's like Living Death. So let's see. They'll get Primal Amulet, Sculpting Steel. Looks like that's it. Nothing in the air player's graveyard, so that's unfortunate for us. Goodbye, Mass Board Wipe. I'll get you back, though. Sculpting Steel didn't do anything. Not familiar how those rules work then, I suppose. We have it enter as the copy of any artifact. But it did enter, right? Oh, confused I am. Comes to our turn. We get an Isolated Chapel, but I think we want double green for the Eternal Witness. So let's go ahead and play the Forest for now. I think we'll play our Commander. It will give us Vigilance counters we can take off of other creatures. So I think that's something we need to do now and start setting that up. Cast the Luminous one. Alright, that's all we can do for now. Let's pass it over to our opponents. Now that they don't have to play around Plague Boiler. Especially worried about Daretti. The partner pair only has 5 cards in hand, but Daretti has a stocked graveyard. Especially that Combustible Gear Hulk. They can just draw cards or burn someone out. It's gonna be pretty good. Vial Smasher the Fierce coming down. Let's see what they may cast on the next turn. If they have instants, it'd work. Won't work this turn, though. Bitter Blossom. Okay. At the beginning of their upkeep, they lose 1 life and put a 1/1 Black Fairy Rogue creature token onto the battlefield. I wish the fairies from Eldraine had art like the Fairy Rogues. I get the world building part, but I was disappointed in the art myself. Cryptic Caves into play for Daretti. They tap down some mana. Let's see what they're going to do with it. Incendiary Command. With a Primal Amulet trigger, they will get a counter on the Primal Amulet. Let's see what modes they pick. Ooh, they're copying it with Increasing Vengeance as well. So the modes will be the same, however. But that's another counter on Amulet. And hopefully not blowing up too many of our lands, I hope. Let's see, Incendiary Command has 2 damage to these creatures, so that'll be 4. And then we get wheeled twice. I kind of like this hand, though. That's sad face. I'm going to choose not to put Tayam into the graveyard for Athreos' trigger. People are too healthy, so there's no way we're going to necessarily get back. Plus, our hand's getting wheeled again, so I don't know that I'll have the recursion. Now, let's see. We get Ramanap Excavator. That'll be interesting for the lands. A couple of lands. A bunch of lands, actually. And Together Forever, which doesn't really help us just now. Alright, I imagine they're getting back. Yep, Combustible Gear Hulk. I do love that card. Alright, let's see where they send the trigger this time. Trigger at us. Let's see what they have in the graveyard on average. Some high stuff, but nothing terrible. Blasphemous Act is out. So I think we'll actually just take the damage. They don't need any more cards. Alright, let's see what we take. We only take 6. Excellent. Let's see what got milled. Psychosis Crawler, Elixir of Immortality, and Wooded Foothills. Psychosis Crawler might be a problem later on if they have lots of wheels in the deck. Rolls over to our turn. We get another land in Temple Silence. So I'm thinking we go ahead and resummon the commander, and then Together Forever, Ramanop next turn, get back a land, and then start going from there. That way we'll have some counters on at least our commander and the Ramanop, and we can activate time once. Play Caves of Koilos. Let's go ahead and tap for the appropriate colors of mana here. And get our commander back into play. Alright, we'll pass it over like that. Over to the partner pair. Bitter Blossom will trigger on their turn. They'll get that Fairy Rogue. Sword of Fire and Ice. That'll be interesting. It does give protection from red. We won't have to really worry about the protections too much. But they draw a card and deal 2 rather. So they will be able to be protected from some stuff of Daretti. Scalding Torn down for Daretti. They'll crack it to go get a mountain, I suppose. Alright, we have a Desperate Ritual. Primal Amulet will get another counter on it. Only one more to flip that over. It's Splice onto Arcane. An interesting mechanic. There's a few infinite combos with that, but I think they'll require another color. So I'm not too worried there. Plus, they'd have to cast another spell first. Mana Geyser, that'll be pretty good. Primal Amulet will trigger and flip over. I wonder what they need all that mana for. I'm hoping it's nothing that will kill us right out. We have a response. Let's see what it is. Hopefully it's Destruction. Beast within targeting the amulet. Excellent. We have removal in here, but we're just not drawing any, unfortunately. But that's perfect. Now, if they cast something like X into Comet Storm or Jaya's Immolating Inferno, something like that, they can't just copy it and dome us to death. Past in Flames. Stuff in the graveyard will get flashback. Instants and sorceries to be specific. Let's see. Incendiary Command, perhaps. Mana Geyser, they could do that again. Blasphemous Act, that seems weird. Wheel of Fortune, that'd be interesting. Wheel of Fortune, yeah, I can live with that. We didn't get too much on those 2 wheels. Desperate Ritual going onto the stack. They'll get 3 more red mana to their mana pool. Increasing Vengeance. Okay. Copy target instant or sorcery, so we get to wheel twice. Sad face. I mean, it's a graveyard-based deck. Oh, it's from the graveyard, too, so they get double. I forgot about that little tidbit there. So we will wheel 3 times. A lot of stuff into our graveyard. Hopefully there's some, like, I have Necromancy and, like, Dance of the Dead and stuff. We can recur and get something back there as Animate Dead. So that'll work out for us. Nothing too much in this hand. I do want one of the altars for the combos, though, so that's a little disappointing. Avenger of Zendikar could turn the tide for us pretty well. They're already back to 7 cards in hand, though. Dangerous. They're casting Seething Song before the next wheel falls off. So, Daretti kind of Storm deck? Interesting. Alright, our final hand is Save Our Butt, Destroy Something, Ramp a couple lands, double our ETBs. I much preferred the last hand, unfortunately. On the bright side, we can get a lot of that stuff back, so that's not terrible, but the deck's slow, it's going to need time, and Daretti is pushing hard. Koth of the Hammer coming down. A lot of Planeswalkers in this deck, too. We'll cover that in a minute. I'm thinking if we can survive and do nifty things, Panharmonicon into Reclamation Sage. Unfortunately, we don't have Planeswalker removal right now. Anguish on Making with a Yard. I don't know where Beast Within is, and Generous Gift, so we'll have to wait and see. Activating Koth. Red for each mountain they control. So that's 9. Total mana in their mana pool now. They added 6. So Koth, Older Walker, in case you don't know, 2 red starts at 3. Tap. Or sorry, +1, untap target mountain. It becomes a 4/4 red elemental creature token. Until end of turn, that's still a land. Not a token, sorry. -2. Add red for each mountain you control to your mana pool. -5, you get an emblem with. Mountains have tap, ping something. It was a pretty good walker in its day. It's still not terrible. I do like Koth. Gutter Snipe coming down for Daretti. That's interesting, although they do seem to be part Storm deck. So not a build I've seen too much before. So I am intrigued, but also don't want to die. Alright, Reforge the Soul is in our wheel. Guard Snipe will trigger, and the partner pair leaves the game. New hand! Didn't talk about that. 2 lands, that's fine. Get a land. Part of a combo piece, removal, and removal. They're not dealing with enchantments, doesn't look like, so removal, no planeswalkers again. They will cast Gamble. 7 cards in hand. They will probably get what they want out of it. We might even get back to our turn to try to win the game, or at least get on an evil footing or something. I will have to think about putting Pernicious Deed in here. I think I forgot it, is the nagging feeling in the back of my head. Alright, let's see what they got rid of. Vesuva. Alright, so I can't make any plans yet, because I don't know if there's going to be like a bunch of extra wheels. Underworld Breach, they're going to get all kinds of stuff back. This is going to take a while. So there will probably be, let's see, Reforge the Soul, Winds of Changes in there. Is there anything else that wheels that can be cast? Well, actually, they can get back like Chandra and stuff too. So yeah, I can't formulate any plans. This is unfortunate. Goblin Welder, it's able to trade artifacts. Goblin Welder activation, targeting the Combustible Gear Hulk, and I gotta scroll a bunch here. What is that? The Gilded Lotus. Alright, so they'll get some more mana. That'll help them cast for Underworld. What will they get back? Let's see. Do they have another one of the rituals? They have Mana Geyser. That'd give them a bunch of extra mana. Seething Song. They'll get 5 more. Guard Snipe will trigger. We'll take the 2. 5 mana in their mana pool now. After resolutions. I think they still have Reforge the Soul. And is Seething Song the one? No. I'm starting. Did they already use Mana Geyser? There's Mana Geyser. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'd get 8 mana total if they tap the rest. Okay, Daretti gives up. Alright, well. Okay, let me go over the plan real quick. I would have had Vich Call and hopefully get Sun Titan, get Angelic Renewal, go infinite that way. Angelic Renewal, rather. Good game to our opponent. I don't know why they quit. It seems like they were doing really well, but yay victory, I suppose. Thanks for tuning into Durdle Magic. If you like the content you saw here today, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that like button, and if you could be so kind, please share the video to anyone who you think might be interested. And remember, you can follow our posts at Facebook and at Twitter at DurdleMTG. We also post the video links there, so if that's more of your forum, Durdle around with us and enjoy some magic. Until then, see you around.